What is up, y'all? It is Grant with another episode of the Groovy Files, and today I got my main man Dre with me.
What's happening? What's happening, man? Glad to be here, man.
And so today, we're gonna talk about mixtapes, specifically from the blog era, and just all time in general. So, first thing I want to say is like favorite mixtapes. I'm gonna go start myself. Obviously, if we're counting Section 80, or sometimes I call it sometimes I count it as an album, sometimes I count it as a mixtape. But like at the end of the day, I still feel like it can be debated. Overly dedicated. Cushion OJ, Back to the Future with Wale and Knife Wonder. I got some takes about that tape, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna come circle back to that.
I bet.
Friday Night Lights, the warm up,
Acid rap,
yeah. Let's think of some more.
Covert Coupe.
Oh, duh. Pilot Talk, Pilot Talk 2.
You putting Yellow Album in yours?
Don't play with me like that. Hell yeah, man.
Oh no, I'm just
y'all
niggas be playing on Dom Kennedy name. Like I ain't one of them niggas.
I'll say this, man. Y'all be playing on Dom Kennedy. Man. Like I know
Not
he ain't
man.
I know he ain't the best rapper or anything like that, but hey man, niggas ain't got when I come around, man. I'm gonna say that niggas ain't got that. But
hell nah.
Casey Veggies, what's the name of that damn mixtape, bro? The one with She in My Car on it.
Crap, I forgot. I wasn't super tapped into Casey Veggies. Yeah, I don't know.
He was definitely much acquired taste. Like not even acquired taste. It was just
I think he was dope.
It was like after he left like Odd Future, he kind of like he's like an early Odd Future member, and then he kind of like just did his own thing. Taylor Aldridge.
Speaking of Odd Future, you got No Idols.
Oh hell yeah.
No Idols. Bastard, Earl. What else? I just had one. I'm putting Popular Culture by XV in mine.
Okay, that's a good one.
I'll say.
What's that joint off by Fashawn, man? What's his name that fucking tape?
Detroit?
No, it's the one with like the kid on the cover.
By who?
Fashawn.
Oh, Boy Meets World.
Yeah, that one. Sir Michael Rocks, The Rocks Report.
Blue Chips too, Action Bronson. And Rare Chandeliers, Action Bronson.
Rare Chandeliers. I know Prodigy isn't considered a blog era rapper, but I would consider putting my first Albert Einstein in there. My first chemistry set with Bodie James.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Vices with Dash. I'm
gonna say I go
with Rich.
Cabin Fever by Wiz. I'm putting that. More About Nothing by Wale. Wale got a few that I put for Lauren.
Hey man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this shit because
let's get it.
Wale, I'm gonna say this, bro. Wale mainstream success has made him out to be worse. Well, I ain't gonna say worse than he is, but it's made him out to be less versatile than he actually is. Because, and I'll say this, that nigga is like 10 times a better rap nigga than the mainstream shit he be putting out, bro.
Oh,
Like
for sure. Yeah, you got to dumb
easy.
it
Like
down.
niggas, niggas don't have a Back to the Future, man. Niggas don't have a Falarin, Never Never freestyle. Niggas don't have a
Mm-hmm.
Steel freestyle. Like niggas don't have a breakup song. Like, come on, man. Like I just wish like the thing about Wale is I really wish that his career was different.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like on MMG, I didn't really feel like I feel like
He fit.
initially he was fitting in, but like at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's kind of like it don't make sense. It didn't make as much sense as time went on. So like I feel like he'd be somebody that would really rock independent or like really, really gravitate with like the rapidy rap niggas. Cause like, bro, like he was doing songs with Currency. Like he was doing songs with Bun B. He was doing songs with Memphis Bleak. Like
Mm-hmm. J. Cole,
Nipsey.
Young Chris, Black Thought. Shoot, he was on the Roots album. Um, yeah, I mean, I think with MMG, it's like it was like great for his success, but artistically, I felt like it kind of put him in a box most. Like it kind of like the Wale single was like, all right, R&B singer, hook, you know, it felt like his albums fit a certain formula. And it worked. It was obviously successful. He got Grammy noms and everything like that, but it just I don't know.
Well,
It felt like it put him in a box, kind of
we're
sort of.
like we're like yeah, like with Wale like mainstream hits, like you pretty much knew every single time what you were gonna get. Like you were gonna
Mm-hmm.
get like it was always something for the ladies. Like it wasn't
For sure.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like he knew what his
Yeah.
market was and like things like that. But man, like I wish like the actual like versatility of his career was shown better. Cause like
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the
that nigga has multiple classic mixtapes.
I agree.
That nigga got three in my eyes.
Which three?
Uh More About Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
or More About Nothing, Back to the Future, and Falarin.
Yeah, I can get with that. We talking just classics? Yeah, I can deal with that. I might say More About Nothing is my favorite mixtape of all time. That's number one. Everything else falls under that. Like that is literally perfection. Like
I'm surprised this considering you like I'm surprised because you were like a big Cole fan back then from when I
I
first.
was a huge Cole fan. That is an understatement. I mean, I still like Cole now, but 2009, 2010, like with the warm up, Friday Night Lights, then the album came out, and I was just like, I mean, it's cool. I
This
listened to it now.
nigga was like this nigga, this shit ass nigga.
I mean, compared to the mix, but really, Friday Night Lights was supposed to be the album, but it didn't have a radio single, so he had to just put it out as a mixtape. So, that's a mark on Hove's legacy, because how the hell you not let that be an album? But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I was huge on Cole, but Wale at that time, yeah, he was
He was
untouchable to me.
he was that film, man. Like I just wish his career panned out differently. Not to say like he's not happy now
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that, but like you kind of catch my drift. But
I get it, but I feel like his career, we can say what happened to Wale. I think we could say that about a lot of the blog era artists. Like when you look at Wiz and you look at his mixtapes compared to his albums, it's like it's clear, there's
it's
songs
a
on here
yeah,
strictly for radio. Yeah.
it's a clear like niggas thought what's his name niggas thought Wiz was just simply Black and Yellow and We Them Boys. You would think
Mm-hmm.
something completely different.
Exactly. Like So, but that was the formula then. Like you dropped your mixtape, you show what you can do, and then you got your deal, and then you drop the album. And I feel like there's only two artists whose album collection is better than their mixtape collection out of the blog era. I think it's only two.
It's one of them gotta be K-Dot, man.
Of course. I mean, of course. Well, who you think the other one is?
No. Let me guess.
Yeah, I got you.
Let me guess. Can't be.
I said it can't be a lot of people.
It can't be Currency.
Nah.
It gotta be Drake, man.
That's debatable. I wasn't thinking that, but that is debatable. I was thinking you want to see what I'm saying?
It depends on the stretch, because with early, like with comeback season, everything like that, Drake kind of got like, I would say like pre-2011, like, and like, okay, you had So Far Gone, which is great.
You know what,
like,
Drake, that does apply to Drake.
What you say?
I said that does apply to Drake. So it's three people. So Kendrick, Drake, and who's the other one? That I think about it.
Is this like a high tier artist, or is this like a kind of like not popular at all?
I mean, he's a late bloomer. Let's say that.
Tyler? Earl?
I mean, Tyler only got one mixtape though, don't he?
Well, if you're counting like the Radical Volume 1.
Oh, I wasn't. I mean, if you
I honestly say, like, I honestly think it's more, but like at the same time, I'd say, because I throw Domo Genesis in there too. I feel like his work got better as time went on.
Yeah, I'd say so, but I'd still say his best stuff was the mixtapes though. Because how many albums did you have? He got Genesis.
Wait, you are right about album, because like,
yeah,
you are right about that. But who are you thinking about, man? I don't know.
When I say it, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, how did I think of that?
All right, go ahead, man.
Mac Miller.
Oh shit. Oh my God, you're right. Because God, bro. Oh, Faces.
I mean, yeah, Faces, but we talking like collection of albums.
I'm saying the mixtape we forgot to mention at the very beginning of the episode was Faces.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's plenty of them that I was thinking. Internet Tape by Vic Mensa. That's what I was about to say. It slipped my mind, but yeah, there's plenty of Stolen Youth by Vince Staples.
It's a time, man. Like,
it's a lot. That was an era, man.
And this is what I say. Like, this is what I say about this, bro. Like, I'll say this, bro. I understand the 90s is it's 100% a golden age. I am not disagreeing that. I agree with that shit. But I will say is that I think people undersold. I still think people undersell, very highly undersell the Blog era, bro. Like I still consider that a rap renaissance, but it's just not like the peak, the number one renaissance. I still think like that was a very exciting. I feel like that was a very exciting stretch for rap. 2008 to 2007 to like 2013, like it was an exciting time for hip hop.
I 100% agree, and I think we're starting to see that now as time goes by. Because when you're in the moment, you're not really thinking like, "Oh man, this is such a great era that I'm in." Like, I don't even think it was even called the blog era while it was happening. Like maybe it was, I don't know, but I don't even. I
don't know. I don't even remember who coined the damn term.
Exactly. Like nobody knows. We just know it's a bunch of blogs and a bunch of artists blowing up at the same time. And I think as time goes on, we'll look back at that era and we'll, I mean, there's conversations happening now. Like I see more, tweets and stuff about it. Obviously, It's the Real got the Blog Era podcast.
Yeah, like I've been seeing them like all over my timeline.
Yeah, I listened to I think they're on episode 7 today. I'm on episode 5 right now, and it's super interesting. It's super like really a backstory on how most of the popular blogs, was formed and everything. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think it is a rap renaissance. It might not be the golden era, but it is an amazing era when you think about all of the talent that was blowing up at the same time in the same year's time frame. You get your Drakes, your Kendricks, your Coles, your Nicki Minaj's, your Futures, but you also get, your Big Sean's, your Meek Mills, your Wale's, Dom Kennedy's, Nipsey Hussle's, Max, Big Crits. I mean, it's so much talent that came out in just a 5-year span. Like everybody's just blowing up at the same exact time. And that was, I feel like the last, I don't know if it'll come back, history repeats itself, but I feel like that was the last time mixtapes were actually mixtapes. Like with streaming, when everybody puts their projects on streaming, you can't really tell the difference between a mixtape or an album. You're getting everything in the same place. But, when Meek Mill dropped a mixtape, you had to go on a mixtape site to download it. You had to go to Dat Piff. You had to go to either one of the blog sites, Now Right or Hip Hop DX or something like that. Like it was a clear difference between a mixtape and an album. Yeah. And I feel like streaming is kind of blurred that gap.
It blurred a lot.
Yeah, like you don't even know.
Because the last mixtape, like the actual like mixtape I remember was Smino when he dropped she already decided, and then like Tony Snow with the Black Billionaires Club. With when he was rapping on all of those damn Neptune beats. But speaking of Meek Mill, niggas been pissing me off with this shit on Twitter for like a good minute. Y'all go fucking stop saying that shit with Rocky, saying he only popular of his fucking because of his fucking girlfriend, bro. Y'all gonna stop playing with that man, bro. Because like I can understand his recent career wasn't shaped out, but that nigga got like a top 10 most downloaded mixtape of all time. Probably was part of like a top 5 collective at the time. Critically acclaimed mixtape, or I would say a pretty good, borderline great debut album. A top 5, not top 5, but a album of the year contender for 2015. And
so what are people saying about Meek? What they saying?
Not Meek, but Rocky. But I'm gonna get to the Meek part. But like, people just been committing this like whole revisionist history on Rocky lately, and I'm just not getting with it, man. Because it's just like, because if we being real, like, people don't even have a Live Love ASAP to their name, bro. And what I mean by that is like, people don't like. That was an extremely critically acclaimed mixtape back then. Like this is, I don't remember, like ASAP was like in high school, well, at least the time I was growing up. In high school, everybody either want to be Odd Future, ASAP Mob, Pro Era,
TDE,
or TDE, and everything like that. But like, I honestly want to say ASAP. Like ASAP got a ton of influence, man. And like in terms of like fashion, like niggas, ASAP had niggas wanting to wear the ASAP damn shirts, the black scale. Niggas started bringing back it. Niggas started wanting to do French braids, all that shit. Niggas. I ain't gonna say ASAP like made people wear golds, but like a lot of niggas wanted to have gold teeth and shit because of ASAP. Like
I would say maybe you could say he brought it back.
He didn't originate anything, but like I would say, like he was very big on like the whole Southern influence thing, everything like that. And like honestly, like that's one of the best. I'm not gonna call him a project, but like that's one of the best like fusions of a sound I ever seen. Like he took like the Southern sound and
but you knew he was still from New York. Like
you still knew he was from New York, and like He did it. He did a great job with it. Like he
that
did
shit
a
was
great
genius.
fucking job with it. It was extremely well executed. And at the end of the day, man, if A$AP Rocky was retired today, in terms of the ball era, we looking at that nigga as a legend, bro. In terms,
for sure.
If we're talking strictly about that, like
for sure,
niggas need to cut it out, man.
It's that testing, man. It was good till testing.
The thing about music now is that the way people view duds is like it's much worse than it actually needs to be. Like in the moment, like people view duds into the moment. So like for instance, like how we view legends in the back, like looking back on this, everything like that. If we see a dud album, it's kind of like, oh, he had a dud right here, but the next one he bounced back, or like the next one, this one's okay. We don't view it as detrimental looking back as it is now. So like, if a rapper drops a dud now, niggas be talking about this nigga career over, this nigga blah 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 blah. The only people I can really say that for is like if you're like one of these new artists that doesn't really have like a fan base and more so caters to like a certain market of music more than like your actual fans, like it'd be different. For
like
example,
Roddy Ricch?
Yes, exactly. Like he's a perfect example. He's not really like I'm not even trying to be funny. Like
I'm with you.
He's a perfect example. Like he is somebody that caters to a core market of type of music. He's not somebody that I know for a fact that's like, okay, man, yeah, I'm a Roddy Ricch fan, bro. Like I ain't saying that to be like a dickhead, like, but Young Boy is really one of the only new rap niggas I feel that way about. Like that nigga has fans. Like outside, like Roddy Ricch, I don't feel that way. I kind of say that about Lil Baby, kind of. Cause like I say this, man, like with my turn, like he hit like a very different gear, and I was like, during the pandemic at the time, that shit was everywhere. Like that shit was all niggas were in the crib bumping the fuck out that shit. And that was the first Lil Baby album. I was like, okay, this shit hard. Like I always kind of liked him before that.
Yeah.
But like Lil Baby, like that 2020 Lil Baby album, my turn, that shit was hard. But this a whole different, I'm gonna circle back to the blog era. Give Rocky his respect and shit, cause y'all niggas running out. Meek Mill, man, I'm gonna put it like this: niggas are with Meek. It's like some of his albums, like that people hype. It's kind of like, what do y'all see in this? And what I mean by that is like, it's not to say that it's not good. Like I think Meek is really good. I think Meek is usually pretty good for like a good 7 to 8.5 album. Pretty much that's how I feel about the majority of his catalog for the most part. He got like I think he got like 2 album does to me. But like, for instance, Championships, for instance, like I think that album is really good, but like niggas are talking about that shit is like album of the year contender for this year. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Niggas like
that was some crazy talk.
Who do y'all think this nigga is, man? But like,
he got a fan. Now you talk about a nigga with a fan base. That nigga got a fan base.
But to be fair, that's what I was getting to. Yeah, niggas be the way that nigga Meek was rapping on DC2 and DC3 did not be replicated. Like in terms of like, hear me out, man. Like that nigga had, and I'll say this, like the market of music that Meek had core fans on top of like the market of music like he was catering to was really, really good. Like he had that kind of lane where, like, how I'll put it like this. Like I ain't trying to be like pretentious or anything like that. But he had that lane of music that like hoopers and like athletes would love. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, y'all niggas doubted me, like all that type of shit, blah, blah, blah. But also like that nigga Meek got like tracks like I still think Hip Hop by Meek Mill off DC3 is like one of the best blog era tracks ever. Like easily. And then Big Dreams, and then like Meek got some like Meek has crashed that piece twice.
Yeah.
He got the most downloaded mixtape ever. Like
That's
I don't like
crazy.
one thing, like what I think it is, or like he has at least 2 top 5 wins.
I must say, yeah, I think Dream Chasers 2 is number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but like I love, like I have my gripes with Meek Mill. Don't get me wrong. Like I feel like with a lot of Meek Mill albums, like you already know the template, like easily. But
so like Wale.
Wale is a little bit. Wale is a little bit different, and
MMG had a formula. Because think
you
about
know what
you know what they expect from a Ross album, don't you?
You know what? You're probably. I think you're right. Yeah, I lied. You're right. But one thing I would say about Meek Mill, man, is like he had his market on lock, and I feel like his downfall now is that niggas are kind of like taking his market from him because he's been absent too long, somewhat. So like when championships dropped, he didn't really keep the hot hand like that, and that's when when the babies, the Gunners, the Dirts,
the 21 Savages,
kind of like 21 Savage came a little bit before, but like they kind of started coming to rise a little bit more, and it's kind of like, hey, what's the market for this music anymore? Do we really need you? Like Future is like was really like the only one. Future and Thug are like the only ones I feel like, okay, if they dropped something, like if they took an extended absence, I think there's a very good chance that they could come back and be okay. Versus, like, and it's funny enough, like I couldn't really even say that for Meek during that pandemic era, because like the pandemic, it shifted the pecking order so much. Like rap completely shifted. Like, and the reason why I say that is like you saw like the Griselda, I'll say like the Griselda lane of music, and like the the Mike Molly Earl lane of music, and like pockets of lanes of music started like rising more, and I think rap was less reliant on the superstar at that point. And the reason why I say that is kind of like, for instance, Griselda kind of like, and I hate to go off tangent, but like Griselda kind of like, I ain't even say they're like a household name, but like them niggas got mainstream.
I'm about to say in rap, yeah,
them niggas are much more mainstream. Like for instance, like, and also like Tony Snow, like I know niggas now that like if I post a song on my Twitter, niggas don't be like, oh, who is this? Like niggas know who that is. Like rap is to where the point, like I want to say it's like more of an open field. I want to say it's much more of an open field than niggas like give it credit for. Because like,
for sure, yeah, for sure.
There's something like not to be cliche, but there's truly something for everybody. But circle back to the blog era. How do we feel about Cole? Because like Cole to me is, how do I put this in a very friendly way? I feel like Cole's mixtapes are like, I feel like when Cole isn't doing like when he just ain't straight up rapping and like, like things like the off season, Friday Night Lights to warm up, all this shit, I struggle to be compelled by him. And like, what I mean by that is like the full package. Like, like I don't really have to, like for instance with Kendrick, I don't really have to worry about, oh, this thing's gonna straight up deliver on the concept. Like that's Kendrick's thing.
For sure.
When Cole, I think where Cole fucked up at is like he kind of tries to, when he tries to be ambitious, it just never hits the mark all the way. So we always end up being not pleased with it. So then he ends up going back to the basics and like what he does, like when he's good at, and it's like, oh, this is good, but like that next level, it's not there. So it's kind of like, for instance, like For Your Eyes Only, I thought was like, from a production standpoint, I could care less about this shit. But like from a writing standpoint, I feel like that's Cole's best on that.
I agree.
So like that's why I kind of like I'm not really mad. I'm like, oh, this is his best album. Even though honestly, like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Given the Cole Center, bro, like the All Season is like a really solid album. Like I've been spinning that like a lot lately, and I really like but
he's the king of the good album.
Cole just kind of got like that. I just think that that's what hurts him the most. Just kind of like, and makes him like the obvious middle child, is that he just don't really, outside of like what he's already good at, he doesn't really know how to take it to the next level. But
I got a perfect NBA comparison for J. Cole.
Talk to me.
J. Cole is the Paul George of hip hop.
Let me think.
And let me.
No. Because
elaborate a little bit.
No, I'm trying to get. I'm trying to see where you're coming from. And I know where you're coming from. But
let me explain it a little bit.
I want to guess. Let me guess.
J. Cole has all, like Paul George has all of the skills that you would look for in a basketball player. More specifically, a small forward. He has every tool,
but he don't have the execution.
Exactly. He has every tool you want. And for so many years, we've been waiting to be like, man, Paul George could be one of the best players in the league. Like, he should be top 5. You know, he got the size, he got the handle, he got the athleticism, he can shoot it. It's like, man, if he just, I don't know, something's missing. Like, I don't know what it is. Something's not there that's keeping him from being one of the best ever. I mean, yeah, he's still gonna be Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. You know, he got All-Stars, he got his All-NBAs. You know, he's no way a failure by any means or any stretch. But it's just like, man, like with the KDs and the Kawhis and the Bronze, it's like, you're supposed to be in that tier. Like,
and that's what I kind of like.
It's so frustrating.
That's why I think hurts Cole. He's such an obvious middle child to Drake and Kendrick. It's kind of like when niggas talk about Cole career kind of being like underwhelming, I'd be kind of like, y'all kind of being dishonest, because like a lot of niggas don't even have a classic mixtape. A lot of niggas don't have the numbers that Cole has. A lot of niggas sure as hell do not have the marketing techniques on top of the fan base Cole has. So it's like saying his, like, niggas kind of just go to extreme with him. And like, I can understand not liking his music, but like the accolades are there. Like in terms of like sales and like fan base and like Cole is like a #1 how to market yourself textbook for his career. Like, I don't know too many rappers that have marketed themselves as well as Cole has. In his class.
I want to say in his class, like marketing.
And when I say marketing, I mean like your brand, like for instance, like Cole's whole brand, like, you know, the Cole World thing, platinum with no features type of thing. What I was gonna say,
super personable, super quote unquote humble,
he's
and all
like,
that.
He's like if Blue was a mainstream rapper, but even though he's a watered down version of Crit and Cole, that really isn't a bad thing, because he's still talented. He's just not on that high tier of talent to me. But
and it's like, I've just been waiting for years for him to just drop that undeniable classic album, like a Good Kid, Mad City, where like, even if you don't like J. Cole, like people who don't even like Kendrick can't deny Good Kid, Mad City is a classic. Like you can't. There's no conversation that ends with that album not being a classic. I just been waiting for years for Cole to just drop that undeniable, and maybe the fall off might be it. I don't know. With the way he's been rapping lately, I would hope so. But yeah, I just been waiting. Like, man, it's just like Paul George. It's like, man, you watch Paul George score 40 one game, and you're like, man, like why you don't do that more? Like, I don't know. It's just something missing. Like that was a huge, and I get the underwhelming aspect of it because when you compare, warm up and Friday Night Lights to, the Born Centers, the KODs, the 4 Hours Onlys, it's like there's clear quality drop off. I mean, he's still a great rapper, a really good rapper, and none of his albums are
definitive.
bad. I mean, yeah, for sure. None of them are definitive, like undeniable
career
classic.
career defining.
Yeah, like he don't have, like I said, a Good Kid, Mad City, or things like that. Like the stuff that you would expect a rapper of his caliber to have. But it's just like I don't know. It's just something missing. Is it his? One thing I've been thinking about lately is it his beat selection?
The thing about Cole, I think this was what. No, it's just always like I don't even think it's that. It's like it's just always a part missing. Like with Cole, like with every Cole album, like for instance, what's that shit called? The first Cole album, Silent Story, was just like a regular run of the mill introduction to the mainstream thing. It was an obvious mainstream
for sure
pull.
Yep.
Born Center is an ambitious body work that is all over the place with some good songs.
I like Born. I'm not as high on Born Center as some people are. Like a lot of Cole fans be like, "Oh, it's his best album." I'm like, y'all niggas is tripping. But
yeah, with Forest Hills Drive, like that is a very, very, very good, solid album. Like it's kind of like if somebody called it a classic album, like I wouldn't be mad at it because of the sales that they had. It's a very solid album. Tons of quotables on there.
It's the album. I think that's the album that took him from star to superstar.
Yeah, it's the flip the switch album for me. Like it's when he reached For Your Eyes Only is a
say another ambitious.
It's an ambitious body of work that is easily one of like Cole's best attempts at writing that he's ever done. That just not move me in terms of like production choices, which isn't a bad thing because it's like I don't think
that's what I'm saying. That's
production. The production choices aren't like horrible. It's just
like it's not beat picker.
It's not compelling. Like, but Kid,
that's a problem. Name a classic album that doesn't have compelling production. That might be it, bro. I ain't got shit
for you, man.
Like I said, he's not a bad beat picker. Like he don't pick bad beats. It's just name. Okay, all the Cole albums. Name great J. Cole beat name a great beat on a J. Cole album.
Oh, Fire Squad.
You think that's a great beat? Like
yes, I think that's a great beat.
I agree. But how many of those does he have?
He has
not that many.
He has a Fire Squad. He has I would call Tale of Two Cities a good one. Pretty good. I would call it a great one. I would call the fact that Wet Dreams is, I feel like, a great beat that just has that's just over a horrible subject matter that I do not want to hear. Really makes me mad. Let's see. Man,
It's the production, man.
It's not the production, man. Like
It's part of it. It's
it's a
part of it.
part of it, but that's what
Mm-hmm.
that goes to my underarching point. It's just always something missing with every Cole
Mm-hmm.
album. Like KOD, I didn't hate production wise. I thought it was decent production wise, but the problem with KOD is that the first half of the album
Yeah,
is
that first half is kind of
it's a horrible parody of
yeah,
everything. And
like
in
the
the
trap
second half,
sound and all that. Yeah,
and in the second half, it's like some of
yeah.
the greatest. It's the greatest. Some of the greatest stretches of Cole music ever heard. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but that's all I got on Cole. Cause I did want to touch on. I wanted to touch on Kendrick. I want to touch on Kendrick, Mac, and Vince real quick.
Okay.
So with Kendrick, man, like I'm gonna put it like this, bro. Like I think we underrate his very. I think we underrate overly dedicated, and we still. I feel like overly dedicated and Section 80 are underrated. And why I say that is like
I know
in
exactly why you
terms
say that.
in terms of like the perspective from looking at where Kendrick is now to back
Yeah,
then.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
The fact that he was that good of a writer that early, that nigga wrote The Heart Part 2 in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
This is before he got the West Coast torch, all that shit. Like, bro, them niggas gave him the torch before Good Kid, Mad City even dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how crazy foresight you gotta have to be
That
like,
is
yeah, man,
literally insane.
for Snoop? I don't think there's. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that's like one of the best. I feel like that's the best. That's the best Wild era accolade, bro. Like for multiple West Coast legends to come out from Snoop Dogg to Corrupt,
Corrupt the game.
the side, but
Wow.
side, but the game.
So he was already. I think was he signed to Dr. Dre by then, or he was being pursued by Dr. I know Dr. Dre wasn't on the stage, but he was. I want to say he was signed by Dr. Dre by then. I know Good Kid, Mad City hadn't come out yet, but I think he was. He had a deal with Aftermath, or at least he was on track to getting the deal with Aftermath by then. So he literally had the whole coast behind him off of mixtapes.
Like, bro, like that shit insane. Like, and I still feel like if you were to say like Cole was better than if you were to say Cole was better than Kendrick back then, I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Yeah, I was. I thought that until Good Kid, Mad City came out, and that's like,
I would have been mad at it, but like at the same time, I kind of felt like when you're looking at the ceiling was kind of like K-Dot's ceiling. Like, for instance, I know a lot of people thought like with Rigor Mortis, for instance,
mm-hmm.
that was one of the songs I was like, okay, K-Dot is really going to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Like so that was that song for me. Shit like Po Man Streams, ROTC interlude, all that shit. Like, I'm still in shock, like of how far Kendrick has came. Like that nigga,
super shocked.
That nigga could have ended his career at honestly Good Kid, Mad City, and be rapper of rap legend. And I wholeheartedly that because I still don't think niggas can make something as good as Section 80. I still don't think that. Like, like putting a concept together and like the level of writing that Kendrick has, and like the appreciation for like vocal tone and like the attention to detail that he has too. Like,
and that's the thing that I'm sorry not to cut you off, but that's the thing that really separated Kendrick from his peers. It's like, yeah, he's a great rapper, great lyricist, can flow out of this world, but he can make songs. Like Section 80 Well, and you can say overly dedicated too. Like he can make songs like genuinely catchy songs. Like ADHD is a genuinely catchy song. Like it's great rapping, all that, but it's a genuinely good song with an accessible beat. It's like most lyrical niggas that get on a beat like that and try to rhyme 100 syllables in each bar or whatever, or do some like Jordan Lucas type shit. No disrespect, he's a good rapper, but he ain't this. He's not the artist that Kendrick has shown to be even early in his career. And his whole career has just been like, I can make lyrical shit, I can do storytelling, but I can also give you swimming pools. I can also give you poetic justice. I can give you humble. It's like he's literally the complete rapper. Like I truly believe.
When niggas like he just, I would even go on to say like he is like top. He is at worst like top 7 or like top 5 most complete rappers we've ever seen.
I agree.
I've never seen a rapper being able to. I've seen very few rappers to, especially like, and the reason why I say that is like the hooks part. Like
right.
a lot of rappers do not know how to.
How to make a hook.
not it's only Kendrick like can Kendrick do do hooks. The hooks be like the catchiest part, like the catchy Money Trees is like easily one of his most quotable songs, and like the hook is the most quotable part. Like, and like that's the shit that be driving me up the wall. Like niggas talking about Kendrick. If you think that nigga don't have quotables, like you're insane. But also,
oh my goodness,
how you call yourself a Kendrick fan and can't name quotables about him is even worse.
That's
like,
crazy to me. I never. Oh my! They say Kendrick don't have quotables. I'm like, what? What are y'all listening to? Like, I'm genuinely confused.
But man, like, I'm actually gonna end the what was I gonna say? I said I was gonna end the episode there.
Okay.
With one thing I wanted to say was, do we have any hot takes we want to say before we close this episode?
Hot takes as far as like
just the blog era, like mixtapes in general. Oh, I was gonna say, by the way, Wiz Khalifa and Currency are legendary status. Like there should be nominated too.
Oh, hands down.
Because I do feel like that lane of just like cool, I say cool nigga rap and everything like that, they play a big part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But hot takes,
I would say so Kendrick being the best blog era rapper is not the hot take. I think outside of Kendrick, Big Crit is the best one. Like he's number 2. If we're talking just quality of music, rap skill, mixtape making, song making, album making, Big Crit is there, and he's a top 20 Southern artist of all time.
If
not higher,
I'll raise you on your hot take, and I will say is if I had to do my top 3 from the blog era, I would have to do top 5. I had to do K Dot, K Dot, Big Crit. Nick's not gonna like this one, but Danny Brown. I don't know. I love Cole. I love Mixtape Cole, but I don't know if he cracks my top 5.
So are we talking just the blog era, just those years, or are we talking their whole careers?
Oh, just those years.
Just those years.
Yes.
So the years what, 08?
I was 08 to like 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick's still number one. Big Crit still number two. Shoot, we doing just those years. I don't know if Mac could be in there then. I want to say Mac, but
I can't even lie to you, man. I love Mac, bro, but like,
his best shit came out after that, really.
yeah, like,
well, I mean, you could count watching movies, but shit, that's it. That's the start of the run for real, for real.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So shit, I probably throw Currency. When did Pilot Talk 2 come out?
That was definitely before. It was honestly the same. I think it was the same year as
Covert Coupe.
No, Covert Coupe was I think it was a year after.
Okay.
But Pilot Talk 2
okay.
was 2010.
Oh, and then yeah, Currency is definitely in.
Yeah.
So in the top 5 then.
So I would say definitely Kendrick, Crit. Definitely Kendrick, Crit, Currency.
I would throw Cole in there. Top 5, I would throw Cole in there.
I feel like the debatable. I feel like Kendrick, Crit, and Currency are like the solidified
top 3. Yeah, for
top
sure.
3. But like, I think Danny Brown, Wiz, Cole are kind of like
favorite.
Wale.
Wale. Yeah, no, hold on. Wale might be over Currency for me. I'm tripping.
Woo shit. And they ain't hot.
Bruh. We got Back to the Feature, Mixtape About Nothing, More About Nothing, for Lauren. Come on, hey man.
I'm not mad at the but I'm gonna disagree.
Ooh, I feel it. So I know the top 4. Who's that 5th spot? I might go Cole. The warm up in Friday Night Lights alone is like, but then you got Sideline Story and like.
I'm not mad at it, man.
Hold up. Now I'm debating. I'm not sold on it. Who am I forgetting? Drake. Nah, I don't think I'd say Drake. Vince.
Hey man, when you put in Stolen Youth, Sean,
I'm gonna say Stolen Youth.
Like, it's not the craziest thing in the world, even though I feel like the talent. I feel like a top 5 talent.
Oh man,
I would put top 5 talent, but
we talking bar for bar? Hell yeah.
But it's like whole resume is tough. But I might have to just ask this question on Twitter and see where we gauge it. But I'm gonna cut the episode there. We appreciate y'all for jumping in on another episode. Any topics you want to discuss, all the other stuff, hit me up. Y'all stay easy. We out.
Yes, sir.